What is your name and what got you into comics?
So my name's Alan Taylor. As I say, born and raised in Belfast. When it comes to the reading of comics, exactly, Batman Begins was a big thing. Like when I was a kid, I watched Batman the animated series just to show my age here, kids. When it was actually on the TV, Spider-Man cartoons, X-Men cartoons, but the actual reading, Batman Begins, came out, Christopher Nolan's movie, and blew me away. And I worked in a cinema at the time, and a friend said, "Did you enjoy that? Well, here, read this because this is what it's based on." It was a book called Batman Year One, and I read that in one night. Came back in the next day, handed it back to him, and said, "What else have you got?" And so that's 2005, I want to say. So here we are, 20 years later, and I'm still hip deep in the hobby. I've made some of my best friends through the store because that's a good thing about comics. It brings people together, and I think that's a big thing about it. And it's an industry that you've got fantastic access to. I mean, we've had some of the top writers and artists come and do signings here, be on our podcast for interviews. If you reach out to the top actors, none of them are getting back to you. If you reach out to the top musicians, none of them are getting back to you. But the comic industry is great like that. It's very welcoming from top to bottom.
Was there like any struggles with like starting?
Struggles, you're always crippled with self doubt. To be honest, when you start anything, I mean, when I first opened, I used to open at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I thought I'll get the early coffee crowd, people on their way to work. Our coffees are about £2 cheaper than Starbucks, for example, and people are always doing that routine. But when we first opened, no one came through here at that time. So for the first month, I used to sit from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, not one person through the building, not one person through the door, and I would think, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? So I restructured it and opened at 10 o'clock instead. I still have access from 8 if I have stuff to do. But you always have doubts. And then just as we got established, COVID hit. And, I think COVID for a lot of businesses, you either lay down and accepted it or you fought to keep your business going. And we fought tooth and nail. We took government grants, we took loans out. We used to be on the road 10 hours a day, dropping comics to people's houses. We had the comics delivered to our house where they would all be organized. So yeah, you keep it going any way you can, but you always have doubts. It's taken me 7 years to be comfortable with like people are going to come through the door today. I'm not too bothered. So yeah, you always have self doubt.
You see, whenever you have like artists and like offers, how does that go? And like, who have you helped in before?
So to give you an example, when it comes to us doing signings, they're always free. We don't charge anything for signings. We don't say it's £5 per signature for photos or stuff like that. We pay for everything. We fly in the artist or the creator. We put them up in a hotel. We take them out in Belfast for a night, that kind of thing. So yeah, our signings are always completely free, which is the key thing. We'll have stuff on the day you can pick up, but you can bring your own stuff. There's no pressure like you have to buy something. Yeah, I mean it's not very good, obviously, for an audio medium, but you can see just behind you there. Those are all the posters of all the different signings we've done. So we had Garth Ennis in at the start of this year. He's the creator of The Boys and Preacher. We had Teenie Howard and Blake Howard in. They worked on Catwoman and Excalibur. Irish creator Declan Shelby. He's done. He didn't create Moon Knight, but he created the character Mr. Knight that was then in the Disney TV show. Our first ever signing was Clay Mann. He's an acclaimed artist. We've had Derek Landian, creator of Skullduggery Pleasant, because they did a Skullduggery Pleasant graphic novel. And then we've actually got, I don't know when this will go out, but we've got a signing next week as well. It's an American writer called Phil Kennedy Johnson, who's currently working on Incredible Hulk and Superman. So yeah, we do the signings for sort of 3 hours at a time. There might be a little bit of a queue when you first arrive, but people sort of come and go during the signings. It's not like we lock the store down and we're just there for the signing. The store's open as normal. And yeah, there's just always really good vibe around them. We organize signings as sort of a reward for our customers who have supported us over the years, because when do you ever get a chance to meet some of these great creators? And because we've got that platform of the store and the podcast, we can get in touch and say, look, is there a time the next 6 months you're free?
Uh, where can people like contact you?
So through the social medias, as I say, is great. I mean, I personally handle all the social media, so you can email us at coffeeheroes at hotmail.com. Drop us a message on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. I mean, I check all messages every day. Again, you don't know how people are most comfortable getting in contact. But my best advice is just walk through the door. As I say, we like to pride ourselves in being a friendly, inclusive place. you know, if someone came into me and said, "Oh, I want to get into, I don't know, My Little Pony," I'm not going to judge them for it. That's what they're into. I'll be like, no problem. We've got My Little Pony. That's an IDW. Take you to that section. That's the key thing. Never to make people feel sort of small when they walk through the door. Just embrace whatever their It might not be my fandom. That doesn't mean I can't sort of help them with theirs. But yeah, just all the usual channels: email, Facebook, Twitter, all the usual. X. It'll always be Twitter. All the usual stuff.
Where is the store?
So the store is in Smithfield Market. So Smithfield Market, quite a historic market in Belfast. It's been here for decades. Just behind Castle Court, there's car parks beside us. There's bus stops close to us. So yeah, we're Unit 5-6 in Smithfield Market, Belfast.